Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you to this video titled Lengths of Line Segments, and I want you to get out your Math and Focus book and turn to page 123, and also get out your coordinate planes that I have given you and get out your pencil. And we're going to take a look at lengths of line segments, and some of the goals for today's lesson is to find lengths of horizontal and vertical line segments on a coordinate plane. We're going to look at solving real-world problems involving a coordinate plane in class, but we're going to mainly look at finding the lengths of horizontal and also vertical line segments on a coordinate plane. So this is going to look a little different because on page 125 it's saying that we're going to look at practice finding the lengths of line segments on the x-axis and also the y-axis. Now I have my coordinate plane up here, and I want you to get your coordinate plane out as well and turn to page 125. We're going to take a look at a few of these problems where we need to use graph paper, plot each pair of points on a coordinate plane, and then also connect the points to form a line segment, and then also find its length. So let's take a look at number 1 together. All right, so we see point 3, 0, and then 0.80. So the first thing we're going to do is plot our points. So we have 3, 0, so we can see the first part is how far to the left or the right we go in our coordinate plane, and we can see that's going to be right here, which is 3. Okay, and 0, we don't go up at all on the y-axis. All right, so I'm going to use a different color here so we can see it a little bit better. So that's point C, and then also D is going to be 8, 0. Okay, and we're going to connect these points to form a line segment. I want you to do that with me. Now we can see, and we can easily count how far or the length of this line segment. So you don't start with 3 as saying 1, but we just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the length of that line segment. And more specifically, 5 units would be the length of the line segment. Now something else that we could do is we can see the points 3, 0, and also the point 8, 0. Now since both of these are positive numbers here, all we need to do is take a look at the part of the ordered pair that's different, the 3 and the 8, and just subtract those two numbers, 8 minus 3, and that's going to give us 5 units as well. So if you ever have to have an ordered pair where you don't have a coordinate plane to plot your points and count the segments like this, and this is D, by the way, you can just take a look at the x-axis. Those are the two numbers that are different. Y is the same, so just focus on those two, and since they're both positive, you would just subtract the two numbers from each other to get the length of that line segment. So we're going to take a look at number 2. So we have -6, 0, -2, 0. So again, we'll plot our points. -6, plot our point here. That's going to represent point E. And -2, 0, plot our point here, and that's F. We'll connect our line segments here. And we can see if we go from -6 to -2 or vice versa, we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Now, if we're taking a look at just the ordered pair, we have -6, 0, and then also -2, 0. All right, what we can do is, since these are both negative numbers, we can treat them as positive numbers still, and just take 6 minus 2, and that's going to give us 4 units for number 2. So the length of that line segment for number 2 is 4 units. All right, let's take a look at number 3. It's a little bit different. -7, 0. So we have -7. And then also we have 1, 0. So we have -7, 0. Plot our point here. We have +1, 0. Okay, you can see the distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now understand that this is a positive and also, negative and also a positive number. When that's the case, you'll just take their absolute values, 7, absolute value there is 1. Whenever you have a positive and negative and positive number that you're dealing with, and then you need to add the two together. Okay, you can see I'm adding these two together, and that's going to give you 8 units apart there. Now, if you plot your points and you just count the segments, that's easy, but if you don't have a coordinate plane to look at, you can just see -7, 0, and 1, 0 is 8 units away. Now let's move over to page 128. And we're going to look at practice finding the lengths of line segments parallel to the x-axis and y-axis. So let's take a look at number 1a, which we have the ordered pair of 1, -2. That's going to be A. And then we also have 6, -2, and that's going to be point B. So let's plot our points. So we have 1, -2, first of all. So we plot our point there. And then we have 6, -2. All right, and we're going to connect our 2 points. And we can see we have a line segment that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units long. Okay, so 5 units for its length for number 1. Now, if you're just given these ordered pairs and that's it, you can see that the y-axis, same number. And then when that's the case, we focus in on the x-axis. Since they're both positive numbers, we're just going to subtract the 2 from each other. 6 minus 1 is going to give you 5. So that's how you would find the length of that line segment if you cannot graph it on a coordinate plane. Let's look at another one here. We have we're going to take a look at number 4. So number 4 is a little bit different. We have -3. So number 4, -3, 2. And then we also have -3, 6. So unlike the other one, the x-axis is the same. The y-axis is the one that's different. So we'll plot our points, -3, 2, -3, 6. Now we have our line segment. We'll connect these together. We can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 units away. Now if we don't have a coordinate plane, what we'll do is we'll just take our 6 and our 2 and we'll subtract those two together. We don't worry about the number that's the same. You can see 4 units from the number that represents the y-axis. So this gives you a little bit of background about coordinate planes and lengths of line segments on coordinate planes. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.